Oh, these guys may as well use this place and I go into our room. It's easier than me. Look, they've got a fort in here.
I want a long time, that's why.
Baby, come into the lounge with Mummy.
Talk to me why you do not want any. Not my blue.
Baby, you can have a food in tomorrow.
Right, how am I going to do this? Mean. Well, it looks like we're going to do this live. Kia ora, everyone. Looks like we're going to do this live from the comfort of my bedroom. Of our bedroom. Because the kids have built a fort where I normally would have my lives. But this is more intimate anyway, so kia ora ana. Right. I do need to set myself up better though. Hang on, fams. Stay with me, man. Stay with me. I'll make it worth your time. So I'm just setting up a tripod now. Kia ora ana, Henry. My man. So I'm just setting up a tripod now. I removed myself from where I usually do our lives because the kids have set up a fort right there. And I don't want to be sad guy and go, nah, man, you guys can't enjoy your fort. Dad's trying to do this thing over here. What a stink dad. So it's like, nah, man, I'll move. Hey, kia ora ne. Kia ora ana, pe ia koe, which means how are you? Hey, kia ora ana, Denny. What's good? I really want to put you guys down somewhere because if I do that, then I can use my hands. This is what we're going to do. You guys don't need to see this, but this is what we're going to do. Basically, I just need to be able to show you guys, the documents that I'm referring to. Man, I'll just sit on the floor. Yeah, why wouldn't I do that? Old school. Man. Alright, well you get to see how messy our room is as well. Look, we're very real. We got shit everywhere. Everywhere. It's a very real home. How are we looking for time? Oh, we're doing well for time. So, hey, kia ora ana, Katie. I reckon, oh yeah. Not that. I'm just looking through. Hey, kia ora ana, Suede. How's things working out for you and your mama? Yeah, amazing, thank you. Sent you a message on LinkedIn. Katie, oh man, thank you, Katie. I don't check LinkedIn a lot, so feel free to flick me a message here. It can just copy paste if that's cool. And yeah, man, we'll definitely connect. Is that cool? Beverly, hey, kia ora ana, Beverly. Oh, good, I just recognized you. Nice. That's cool. So I want to hold something up that explains the topic for tonight. Because the topic for tonight is all about financing. Finance, the money. The big part of the puzzle that if you have to be able to solve the finance puzzle, right? Not just in the home either, right? Like in general. So what I'm looking for is basically something that just looks like a bank thing, because then a person can join the live and go, oh sweet, I see we're talking about the money side, the money of things. Oh, thank you, but we don't want to hang out with other people. But I appreciate the invite. I'd love to hear what anybody's been up to. Pin a comment which says financial discussion. Yeah, good call. Could someone write a financial discussion and I'll pin it? Is Debbie on there? Oh man, if I knew what I was doing, I'd make someone a moderator, and then you guys can. That would be amazing, right? So I'm pretty sure I do this. No, not that one. Wait, this. Pin this comment. Yeah, there you go. You can teach an old dog new tricks, eh? All good, all good. We're still doing good for time. Oh, this is how you could all help. How we can help each other. So if you could put in the comments hashtag FYP. So hashtag FYP. That helps to put it on other people's For You page. If you know other Cook Islanders, it's more likely to go on their pages as well. So we can share this information out there. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Crocodile. Thank you, Framhine. Yeah, man, absolutely. Let's get this knowledge out there. All Cook Islanders should know this. Cool. Thank you, everybody who's doing that as well. Nice. Hey, kia ora ana. 702. All right. I'm not going to keep searching. I've got the things I need. Okay. Before I start, so we start at 7:05 sharp, right? Before then, I provide a little bit of context around what it is that I'm doing, what I'm doing in life. So I live. Oh, can you guys read this? Sorry, I'll switch it and then that'll make a bit more sense. I live this principle. This is a message and a mindset. So this helping people in the way that I'm helping people is because I've learned how to love life more, and I want to encourage others to love life more as well. Cool? So if you ever wonder, like, what's the kaupapa, what's the vision, what's the thing, that's what it is. Thank you everyone for sharing. Appreciate it. Man, water is the best. True story, man. Water is the undisputed champion. I'm not going to sponsor this Hydro Flask. There's a story behind why I wouldn't endorse this one, okay? I won't bother. Oh no, whoa, I got a minute. Hey, kia ora, what can I do in rarotonga.com? Check it out, fams. The higher self, man. The higher self, I like that. New office, yeah, bro, we're expanding. I've been promoted to the floor. Nice, thank you, Alma, for sharing. So what did I get up to today? Man, I woke up, what woke me up this morning was I dreamed about Dan Carter kicking the ball in the corner, and there was this try scored off it. I used to be a rugby obsessive, but I fell out of rugby, out of love with rugby years ago. It was my job. It was a thing I had to do. Anyway, and so that's what woke me up. And then my first thought after that was about netball skills. And the reason it was about netball skills and drills was because I've just taken over being the coach for our 15-year-olds netball team. So our 15-year-olds college netball team. So you know, that's like with my daughter and her crew, I'm like, I want to be on point, man. You know. And I'm an obsessive too. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna nail this. Yes, the promotion. The promotion, indeed. I'm loving this netball jam, man. Oh, 7:05. I'll take a drink and then let's go, eh? Nice. Nice. Cool. Kia ora na tātou katoa. Thank you everyone for joining me. For those who don't know me and you've just stumbled across my feed on my live, my name is Eri Rakanui. Tōku tupuna vaine no Rarotonga mai aia, which is my mum's family, comes from Rarotonga. Tōku tupuna no Achu e Nuamanu mai aia, which means my father's side of the family comes from Achu o Nuamanu. Inara, tōku inua nau, ko Aotearoa Nutireni, which means, but I was born and raised in Aotearoa, in Wellington to be precise. Maine. So the reason why I wanted to introduce myself like that is because twofold, really. One is, I think it's important that we retain as much of our culture as we can. And one way I can do that, one way I can support that is stepping out of my comfort zone and speaking Māori. Man. All good, all good. Thank you, bro. Mate, Taki, thank you. So, moving on. What we're up to tonight is we're continuing this conversation that we've been having about you building your home in the Cooks, back in the Cook Islands, or in the Cook Islands if you're there right now. And I'm the guy who's been sharing my experience because I've just come back from Rarotonga, which is where I built my mum's home in Awachu. Cool. So I'm sharing a lot of what I've learned, the mistakes that I've made, and some of the things that I would do differently to help you build your home in the islands as well. Cool? That's our goal. That's our goal, fans. You to build a thing in the islands as well. Oh, good. Okay. I don't even know what's behind me, man. I hope it's not like Debbie's bra or something. I don't know. Oh, it's just a pair of dirty socks. I had to switch this up. My knees are killing me. They're not like they used to be, man. Honestly, age is a real thing, eh? Cool. So we're talking finances tonight. The reason we're talking, you know, I didn't dive too deep last night on finances is because it's such a massive part of the puzzle. It's one of the, if you think of a puzzle, right, it would be actually like it's a corner piece. You know, people talk about the middle pieces. No, it's a corner piece. You need to have that corner piece because from there you can build, right? Anyway, too much of an analogy. So when you're thinking about the size of what you're going to build, hey, kia ora, popsicle. When you think about the size of the thing you're going to build, if you have enough money to pay for all of it, and you don't have to borrow any, mei taki maata. Well done. If you do need to borrow some money, then you need to know how you're going to do that and how you're going to repay it. Cool? Because when you go to a lender, like a puzzle, yeah, bro, like a puzzle. Because when you go to a lender, you're going to need to be on exactly the same page as them as how you're going to repay it. Cool? All right. I'll let that sink in for just a sec. Nice. As you went through the process, as you went through the process of working out how much it is that you're going to borrow, sorry, I'll walk us through again properly. We talked about you need to have the design of what your home is going to be as part of the lease, and I think of the right of occupation. Somebody can correct me on this, but when you go to get it, it's just because it's, like I said, the right of occupation and the succession. That was where I used a lawyer, just reminding people that like that expertise was what I used at the start of that process. I want to build after I finish ROT. When getting a bank loan of BSP and Aurora, what is the interest? I couldn't speak about what the current interest rate is at the moment, but it's probably sitting at around 7%. And so interest, that's a good example, right? Is that you need to, pardon me, I got the hiccups for some reason. It's because I'm not breathing. Right. Let's just go back to what we've got, eh? So that was a classic example of not using my tools around me. Here we go. Right, I'm going to show you the inner workings, okay, so you can see it. If I can get this, there we go. Right, sorry paper. Can you guys see this? Matarakanui is my brother. Cool. Can you see these stamps? Oh shit, where am I? Here. Environment, shivers. Environment. Health. ICI. So remember how I was talking about no matter what, you're going to end up having to engage with several departments. Those three are the ones that literally stamp this to allow you to go forward. So at some stage, when you go to build, you're going to engage with them. So my advice, if I was to go around and do the process again, is to start building a relationship straight away. You've probably got a relative that works in there. We all do. So you may as well find out who it is. Kazi. Right? Right, so moving on. Staying on finances. This is basically like the plan for us. It's got references of what it is that we're building. So that's the container, by the way. I know that picture's a bit shitty, but that's what the container looks like. You come in the entrance here and you turn so you come in the entrance here, and this is like the living area. And then you turn towards the kitchen. There's like this is the stove top, and above it it has cabinetry and stuff. This is the other side where they have it's a breakfast bar, and there's a kitchen sink there as well. And then there's the place where the fridge goes, and opposite that a pantry cupboard. That's interesting. I can't write a comment. What was the comment? You have to code it now. Sorry. And there's like a cavity door there. Yes, there's air conditioning, Suede. Yes, there's air conditioning. And then you step through a cavity door, and then you're on your right hand side is the shower. On the left hand side is the laundry. The reason I'm walking you through all this, right, and I'm probably going into too much detail, one is I'm just showing people, because I know a lot of people have asked what does it look like on the inside. The way I was trying to tie that back to the financing part is all of this you'll build, you need to come up with an explanation of how much your build is going to cost. So you need to know, unless you're getting turnkey. If you're getting turnkey, you're still going to need to know, right? But you won't need to know the level of detail. You'll basically, if you're getting turnkey, you're just focusing on a real big number, more expensive than if you did some of the parts yourself, or you got subbies or whatever, subcontractors, sorry. Anyway, you need to know what it is that you're asking for when you go to the lender. Now, let's just keep moving forward. If you're going to a lender, most people are going to go to a bank, right? There's other lenders available there. I think they call them tier 2 or secondary, maybe tier 2 lenders. Tier 1 is like your banks. Tier 2 are like finance companies. I don't know anything else other than that. So when you go, you've worked out how much you need to borrow, and it's not just the build, remember. Yep, tier 2 lenders. Thank you, bro. Sorry if I'm not answering these questions either. No. No. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. So when you go there, you're giving them the full number as you think it looks, as you think it is. So you would have the building. Let's just say you had the shipping container. You did the same idea, and you used the shipping container. You would need to be able to explain the cost of the shipping container, and then how it's going to get here or get to Rara. So you would have freight, and then in order to insure it, you would need marine insurance. I've actually got an alternative to that, by the way. And this alternative, which I learned, nobody taught me, this alternative saved $1,800. So you have the insurance. After that, you would need to explain how it's going to clear customs. So clearing customs is a process. They don't need to know that certain bit though, but it helps later on if you can explain to them where some of your spend ends up going. I'll come to that soon. Then through customs, it's got to come off the port. So anything that gets shipped in goes through the port, and it stays there until it's cleared by customs. Once customs have cleared it, it's allowed to be released from the port, and that's where the likes of T&M or who's another one, Land Holdings. I want to mention another one because I want to give them a shout out. I think General Transport do it, and something building supplies. Maybe it's Cook Island Building Supplies. They've all got an ability to get the containers off the port, your stuff off the port. What else? After that, you've got to get it to the site. So somehow it's going to be picked up at the port, and they basically use a truck and then a crane, and then it gets dropped onto the site where it gets handed over to the next group. All of this is in your numbers. Like every single thing I've described will be in your numbers. And the more accurate you can get it, the better. And then so on and so forth, right? It just keeps going on and on through, plumbing, power, all the things. Literally everything you can think of and more will be on your list of what it is that why you're asking for the amount that you're asking for. Why you're asking for the amount that you're asking for. I could have said it better, but you know what I mean, right? I hope so. Just like, no, Eddie. Mean. Okay. The bank will ask you to prove the lender. Well, no, we'll just go with bank. We'll stay with bank. The bank will have its own things that it adds to your bill as well, like bank fees. Bank fees are not cheap. I think our bank fees were $1,300, $1,200. I'm pretty sure it was something around there. I'd need to double check. Which to me is crazy. You're telling me these guys are going to make money off the money that they lend me, okay, and then they're going to charge me for actually giving me the money? What the hell? It's not even their money, it's someone else's money too. Tell you what. All right. When you start, you then pull together all the documentation that the bank want, and that includes things like proof of your income. If you've got business interests, they'll want to know, what was the other things we mentioned? Come on, brain. A whole bunch of stuff. They basically just say, can you fill out tick all these boxes and make sure that you have a lease. Because once again, that was the mistake that I made that cost about a year, was it? No. Yeah, it was. It cost about a year of time. Just a reminder, you cannot borrow on a right of occupation, on an RO. Do you know what? Somebody hit me with a question. Somebody ask us something. Even if it's something like, what cost surprised you? Or, oh, why don't I answer that myself, my own question? But please, somebody ask a question. You may as well. I'll give you the most honest answer I can. There we go. I love that. Can you take a bank loan in Rara if you're working overseas? Nice, Popsicle. Yeah. Can you take a bank loan in Rara if you're working overseas? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So I'm an example where my brother and I were both working overseas. And thank you for these other questions, Denny, and what can I do on raratonga.com. I'm going to definitely come to you. I appreciate you asking. And but I'll answer Popsicle's one first. So we were examples of living overseas, and we went through the process and ticked all the right boxes, had the right relationship with the bank, and then then my brother, like mid-process, my brother ended up moving to Raro, and we finished the process with him living there and got it over the line, despite me basically staying here that whole time as well. What they're really looking for is, and I mentioned this, they're looking for surety, confidence. They're looking for confidence that you can pay the amount that they lend you. They're not too worried about whether you live there or somewhere else, you know. Can you do an OR and lease at the same time, or does it have to be separate? So just so I've got in my head what I think you're asking is, on the same piece of land, can you have, and we'll just assume that you have full rights to that piece of land. Your question is, can you have an OR and a lease at the same time on that single piece of land? I think only if it's partitioned. I think only if it's partitioned. But if you've partitioned it, it's kind of technically two pieces anyway. Yeah, I'd love to hear another person's experience on that. Yeah, so can you do an OR and lease at the same time, or does it have to be separate? Oh, no, I see what your question is. My bad, Denny. My bad. You're talking about like sequential. Like you do one after the other. Can you do an OR and lease at the same time, or does it have to? Oh, my bad, man. Denny, I misunderstood your question. It was a perfectly good question too. I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's a great question. In my experience, and what I think happens is that it needs to go one after the other. You get the OR and then you get the lease, or maybe you just go straight to the lease. I'd love to hear other people's experience with that, because in ours we went to the OR and then we went to the lease. And by the way, I hope that's useful. I trust it's useful. If you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. So I'm gonna trust that is useful to you guys. How long did your loan process take? Nice, thank you, bro. What can I do in rarotonga.com? Solid, thank you, that's useful. Man, thank you. Right back at you. Awesome. So how long did your loan process take? Okay, my loan process, which is a lot longer than what it should have been and what you need to go through, it was a couple of years, self-inflicted. It was a self-inflicted injury. Oh, nice. I just saw your comment. What can I do in rarotonga.com? Yeah, that's the one. Because we engaged with the bank for ages. It felt like about 6 months before we even got into the process of actually starting our application. Nice, thank you, Popsicle. I'll come back to you. Oh, nice. There we go. I'm showing the man some love. Great source of knowledge, by the way. I'm assuming you guys are... Oh, no, you're looking down here somewhere, right? Wherever you're looking at the pinned comment. Yeah, great source of knowledge. Oh, good, bro. Oh, good. Jet, my man. Love you, bro. Likewise. We'll catch you up, man. He's another good dude too. He's another good dude. Honestly, man, it's true that positivity has its own gravity. Positivity has its own gravity. It sucks more positivity into it. It just keeps growing. I know this from experience. True story. I look at some of the people in this chat that I've met and that I've just built this amazing connection with, the people that are in here. Everyone's watching the world's most positive guy. Stop it, I'm blushing. But yeah, it's how it happens, man. Right, I've got to stay focused. Second most handsome. Get it. This guy. Get off my life. Right, I'm going to drink this and we're going to get back on topic, right? Nice. All right, later, brother. Love you too, bro. Well, that's a long time. I'm thinking definitely have to move home, but mahi-wise is stopping me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go back to how long it took me. So it took about 3 to 6 months, I think, from what I recall, between first speaking to the bank and even starting the application. So clearly we were getting in our own way. And then we started the application proper and before we started the application, the bank said to us, we do not loan on rights of occupation, on ROs. And we looked at it and went, oh yeah, whatever. And then we started the application. And then we completed the application. And that took us forever. And then we submitted it to the bank. And the bank said, as per our earlier email, we do not lend on rights of occupation. Honestly. Honestly. I'm not really sure I'm the right person to be teaching you guys this process now. Wait. Man, it was a legit crack up when we got that email and we just thought, oh man, that has dropped the ball on the try line. So there you go. After that, when we realized we had to go and get a lease. Okay, thank you. My pleasure, Beverly. My pleasure. So then we had to go and get the lease. Essentially, that is why we have a lease. Because if we didn't have to get the lease, we would have just built on the RO. So that was the thinking. And I think if I went through it again, yeah. See, the thing is, if you've got a great relationship with your family, I think just a good relationship with family, then if you get the RO and then you build something on it, it's a lot easier to have the conversation with family to say, I did the thing I said I was going to do. I've built the home on family land. And now I want to move this with your permission, or with your blessing. I want to move this from a right of occupation to a lease. Yeah, I'd go that way. What is the RO in itself? But I'd love to hear others' thoughts of what they would do too. because we've all got a different, each of us can see a different path, right? What is Aro in itself? Though it's a right of occupation, which means you can essentially build something on that piece of land, or you can plant taro, you could, you know, yeah. So that's basically, once you've done that, you're in the build game. Hmm. Before 7:35, I feel like I actually feel quite tired, if I'm perfectly honest. I had a really good coffee with this guy earlier this morning. Was there a deadline for putting something on the land while in OR status or time frame to put? Oh, yeah. Nice, Denny. Good question. Yes, there is. There's a really good question. Was there a deadline for putting something on the land while in OR status or time frame to build? So you get 5 years to put something on the piece of land, and then another 2 years to complete the build. If we're just talking about homes, right? I don't have any experience with plantations, to be fair, but in terms of a build, yeah, you've got 5 years to start it and 2 more years to finish it. That's what the Ministry of Justice's position is. However, the reality is, like in our situation, you can have a lot longer than that. And in fact, somebody was talking about how they had 26 years of an RO. That's impressive, eh? That's a long time. It comes back to the relationship that you have with your family. There you go. Nice. Thanks, Beverly. Comes back to the relationship that you have with your family. And that includes if that piece of land was specifically set aside for you. Because from what I've heard, that's the game changer. If everybody knows that, then, and everybody buys, agrees with it, then that's it, it's job done. Okay, so I should finish off with something financial again, to make it not worth your while. So round off the story we've been doing tonight. Oh, any more questions? Sweet, thank you for all the knowledge. My pleasure, my pleasure. I think the next time, this is what I think. I think next time, the next session, I show you the breakdown of all the costs. Yeah, I think that'll be useful for you. Man, is there some way I can share a green screen? Yes. Yes. I could do a green screen. Oh shit, man, I need someone to help me. I'm just going straight out. What I need somebody to do is to basically like hold my hand to create a green screen that has the budget behind me, and then I can just go and this line here, and you can see it's this much. And no, Eddie, I'm going to learn this. Teach a man to fish. I think we're at that stage of the learning, right? Where if I can do that, then you can see a lot of what's in my head. Because otherwise it's a bit conceptual. It's an idea. Sounds like a cool idea, but if you can see it, oh, even better. So here's a life hack that breathing exercise is the number one way of reducing stress and anxiety in real time. So if you're a nerd like me, it's called a physiological sigh. A physiological sigh. I use it a lot, and I encourage other people to use it as well. We can all do with a little less stress. Why not? Yes, that's because you have your father and another someone like your elder looking after your land. Parents don't get to talk to screen. Hey Ducky, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alright, so I think the next plan from here is thanks Marnia. So I think the plan from here is I am going to learn how to do a green screen, and then on Monday we'll use the green screen so you guys can see everything that I'm talking about and how much it costs. Right, we'll do that. Man, I hate giving myself another job. Do you believe we are all equal and we should all... Do you believe we are all equal and we should all share? And then I read your hard case. I absolutely believe we should all share. Are we all equal? That's a great question. And in principle, yes. In principle, yes. What was I going to think of an exception? We are all equal. I'm probably reading this too deep, bro, but when I think of all equal, I think of people that, man, these people who are blowing up kids. Sorry to go down there, but that's what I think about, you know? I hate that. I hate that that happens. No, I'll go back. Yeah, we are equal. Yeah, I like that question. Yes, we are all equal, and yeah, we should all share. Yeah, man. Thanks, mine there. Probably watching me go from like laughing a lot and then just straight deep dive, eh? Like, what is this doing, bipolar? Not to mock bipolar, I don't know, I might be, who knows? Hey! Thanks, Rangi. Mei, taki. Me. Right, I am going to go. My family have probably started movie night. And so I am going to go and sit down and snuggle on the couch and watch whatever it is that we're watching. Interesting. Yes, we should all share. However, not all want to share. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Anyway, thank you for sharing your time with me. True story. I really appreciate people sharing their time. I value time so much. So I appreciate you sharing it with me. All right. Do the things that help you to love life more. All right. Meitaki ka kite. No show tomorrow. I might jump on. I'm definitely going to try and jump on Sunday because I love MMA. I love UFC and MMA. And so I'm going to try and do my first like MMA analysis while it's on. So if I see you then, I see you then. And otherwise, have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you Monday 7:05 p.m. in New Zealand and 9:05 p.m. in the Cooks. Mei taki, kia orana, e kia manuia.